I'm the Archivist, and in my opinion, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are one of the most fascinating phenomenon in modern pop culture. Iconic but flexible, it feels like each iteration of these amphibious shinobi dares to do something a little bit different, but yet it always has that turtle power people know and love. This includes me. I love the TMNT. My little brother and I got into it when the 2003 version of the show was on Foxbox, and from there we watched the live-action 90s films and played ninjas with our TMNT issue katana and bow staff. Once I got into comics, I started collecting back around book 50 of the IDW run, and every so often I pick up an old book. I thought I knew every run of the Turtles comics. There was Mirage Studios, a brief run with Image Comics, the Archie comics covering the 80s cartoon, the 2012 series comic, the current IDW run, and even Rise of the TMNT received a comic. I was always confused about why the 2003 TMNT never got a comic. I was even going to make a video about it, but then I found it. Dreamwave's TMNT circa 2003 issue 1. It exists, and it's pretty good. Written and drawn by the prestigious team of Peter David and LaShawn Thomas, this series of comics captured the look and vibe of the 2003 show, while also daring to do its own thing. For example, the first 3 issues of the book are set during the arc covering the first appearance of the Mousers. However, instead of just regurgitating the plot of the show, these issues explore other characters' perspectives. I appreciate the creativity involved here, even though I will admit a couple of these issues were a little confusing. My favorite comic in this run is issue 5, a one-shot about Raphael, where he helps a little girl get her cat down from a tree, but when he breaks the rules of Bushido by revealing himself, Raph has to deal with the consequences. It's a funny story with a touch of melancholy, and I love it. I would argue this tone comes from David's experience with writing characters like the Turtles that are often forced into isolation, like his award-winning run on The Incredible Hulk. This just worked really well, especially for this version of the characters. I do have one small gripe with these books. While the writing is good and the art captures the 2003 Turtles look at action very well, the actual Turtles themselves, Leo, Donnie, Raph, and Mikey, aren't in the books that much. When they are there, they're great, but they aren't there nearly enough for a TMNT comic in my opinion. However, here's the rub. This book was only published for 7 issues. Any problem this comic had could have been fixed, but unfortunately the publisher Dreamwave went bankrupt and that was it. Why the license never got picked up for another 2003 era TMNT book, I don't know, but that was it. While I do recommend checking out these comics if you can, I can't recommend finding the physical comics in good faith because they're rather pricey and I know how important it is for some people to have the physical media. Maybe someday Nickelodeon or IDW can get a trade of the issues out there to make it easier to find, but until then, I think reading it digitally is good enough for me. Thanks for watching, guys. What was your favorite run on TMNT? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time, here on Out of Ink.